but it's like you're dictating what women should have empathy for. All right, so we're going to address some comments, which is really fun for me. I love when you guys leave comments because I really believe that civil dialogue is growth and it sharpens our worldviews and understanding of each other. So keep it coming. The first one I'm going to react to is off of my Gothix reaction video. So if you haven't seen that, I would recommend you watch it. She says, we may have had a similar testimony. Former Democrat here. You can say I had a red pill experience too. I remember being really angry and depressed, realizing that so much of what you think you know is a lie was dark. When I first woke up, I wasn't sold on a creator and identified as agnostic. It didn't take me long to realize that I did fit into the conservative community either. Anyway, I'm gonna check out your testimony video. Thanks for linking it. So, yes, if you have not seen my testimony video, if you care to see where I came from in my conclusions and my journey, then check that out. I will link that at the end of the episode as well. So, and also check out the original Gothix video that I reacted to because it's really awesome as well. What the conservative movement does well, and I'm talking the Daily Wire and the Mug Club, and I get it, Steven Crowder's in hot water, but he has done a lot for the conservative community, right? And given people who are against the mainstream woke narrative a voice and make you feel like you're not crazy, because this is insanity. And it's being sold to us as tolerance and love when in fact it's very, very dark. And when you realize that, it can be disorienting and lead you to despair. And I think that's where the conservative online space goes wrong, is that it leaves you at, oh my God, the world is so dark, and gives you no light and no hope. If you don't add the truth of the gospel, you're missing a huge foundation of why the things that we are criticizing and pointing to are dark. We have no standard if we don't have the Bible and if we don't have the truth of the gospel. There is no standard. Then everything the right says is just opinion. All of the moral arguments are just opinion if you do not have the truth of Jesus Christ and the cross and the redemption of humanity in the narrative. How can you then say that what the woke people are doing is evil? You can't even then define evil, because evil is an absence of good. And good is God's nature. It is God. Goodness is God. God is goodness. That is where Christians, do not be afraid to stand up, because there are people watching these conservative voices and need that hope. So thanks again for that comment. I really appreciate your viewership and sharing in the comments. All right, next one comes from my video that actually has over 5,000 views now. That's blowing my mind, guys. I think that's so cool. Really thank you guys for watching. And those of you who subbed and came back, you guys are some real ones. I really appreciate you. All right, so this person says, this is a fascist movement that's working towards a totalitarian state. Oh, by the way, this video that I'm talking about is about Jeffrey Marsh and the Muslim mother that was threatened for speaking out against him. The sad thing is they're calling it trans or adding on to LGBT when they don't even accept actual lesbian, gay, etc., because they say they're transphobic for only wanting to date preferred genders. Right, that's so crazy. Like, if you're a lesbian who wants to sleep with women, if you don't sleep with a biological man because he calls himself a woman, you're the messed up one. So get with it, bigot. They also reject real trans people that speak out against this ideology when acknowledging science and biology. I don't think it's a coincidence that an actual authoritarian / totalitarian country, China, created TikTok and blocks almost everything that's in opposition of this movement, while the algorithm only pushes content consistent with gender ideology. Absolutely, isn't that freaking crazy? And it's just interesting that TikTok, which is not controlled by China supposedly, consistently suppresses one side of this and promotes another. So very, very, very weird. All right, next comment comes from the video that I was reacting to Candace Owens questioning women's votes. And I played a clip from Allie Beth Stuckey's podcast called Relatable from over a year ago, where she was talking about toxic female empathy. So this is a response to that. It says women lack empathy for abortions, but have empathy for other issues. So it seems you want to decide what women have empathy for based on your views. And I don't like abortion, but it's like you're dictating what women should have empathy for. And so part of that argument was that we elevate empathy to such a degree that we're willing to support harmful and or evil policies because it might make somebody feel bad, and we have empathy for them as females. And because women constitute a majority of the vote, that can be a problem when we are catering to empathy, this out of control empathy in a society, and we're like voting for this and politicians are catering to it. That was the point. Okay, so here's the thing. It's not that empathy is a bad thing. And when empathy is elevated over morality, over the negative effects of what these policies can do, that's where we have a problem, right? The fact that women lack empathy in the abortion realm is such a problem, but I'm saying because women have empathy, it's a problem. Yeah, it's the elevation of empathy and the politicians wanting to cater to this empathy, and because we don't have strong men, putting order to our empathy and keeping us in check as women, that empathy is becoming toxic in certain regards. It's when there's an imbalance that the problem is. So no, and my view is based on God's standard. So I'm not just like, oh, Jasmine feels a certain way. So yes, and I have those moments, and I'm not perfect, of course. No one is. Neither are you, gnarly waves. But I try to filter my empathy through the lens of the Bible and God's truth, because then it makes no sense and will have a net negative on either myself or society at large. So I don't know, just a little nuanced thought vomit coming out with that one.